shortly after that I started in the pop game. And I started in the pop game because I sold a keyboard at the time. I was living in South London. I had no money. I come off this cruise ship. I don't really have any money again. I didn't really know what to do. I was so disillusioned now because I didn't join the circus, which at the time, now I'm regretting because it was £375 a week, even if it was with bears. I thought I wanted to be on cruise ships and that didn't work out. I thought I was going to be a piano tutor, and that didn't work out. I was getting a bit disenfranchised. I was getting a bit like, what is there out there? Come on, like I want to be a player and I want to do stuff. But I couldn't afford to carry on living, so I had all these keyboards and loads of old keyboards and bits and pieces I collected along the way. And I brought this keyboard, a Yamaha Motive 6, it was before the Motive. It was something, a very early pioneering version of the Motive, which is like a custom workstation sent from Yamaha do. And I'd done this gig in town, it was like £50, and I was on the bus, like carrying it home. And I was so sick and tired, I was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd done this for years and years, and gigging and jobs that hadn't worked out. So I was like, you know what, I am done. Fuck this, I'm done, sorry. I'm done with this, I'm out of here. It's not gonna happen anymore, okay? So I just threw this keyboard in the bush, and I just walked home. And I was like, and I lived in like South London, like, I thought that keyboard's someone's gonna run out the bush and grab it right now. And I walked to the top of the hill, I was like, what are you doing? You could sell that for £1,500. So I ran back down the hill, and I got the keyboard, and I dragged it all the way back up the hill, and I went to the home, and that night I put it on the next following morning's relay, I put it on the internet for sale, like on Gumtree or like an eBay or whatever it was. And this guy phones me up, and he's like, yeah, I saw your keyboard, like really interested, it's a good price, because I put it reload, so I wanted to get rid of it. And he pestered me, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, and I really didn't want to sell it, but I had no choice. And anyway, he came round, and he's like, oh, you've got some cool keyboards. And we started jamming, we started playing. And this kid, Tim, at the time, he's like 18 years old, he went on to be Jack Jones,
wow.
the DJ.
Great DJ.
Good DJ, yeah, and I worked with Tim predominantly when he was 18, when he was sitting in my house, and I didn't know him from Adam. He had a band on his book, they had a band he was working with, he was just a guitarist, and he was just a kid, and so was I. And he rang me up, he brought the keyboard, he rang me up about a week, he said, I've got his band, but I can't write strings for him, we're doing a live lounge, ready on live lounge. I was like, oh. He's like, can you write strings now? Because I had theatre experience, and because I'd done this notation stuff in like my degree programme, I wrote a string section for a band called End-Ups at the time, they were 20 odd years old. And I was young again, as I say. So we did this live lounge, and then it kind of like stopped, and then it kind of started again. And before you knew it, I ended up doing, at the time when the R&B scene was really big, in terms of UK R&B, Tiny Temper, Did You Stride, Tyre Cruise I was doing. And it kind of began to snowball from there. I was like this kind of white kid in this urban scene, geeky keyboard player, you know, and it kind of fit into bill, and it kind of worked for me. And then I got another call, and I got a call for a band called Marina and Diamonds. She had just finished her album, her first studio album. Now, an artist that wasn't dead centre, when I call dead centre I mean pop, straight ahead pop. She was left of pop, Marina. She was very left. She was kind of like, she was in that Back for Lashes camp, that kind of like alt-left, Lana Del Rey-esque kind of like side to her. And so I needed a cover for holiday. Do you want to come play keyboards on Hollyoaks or something like that? It was like, she was like doing like Hollyoaks TV. I was like, all right, yeah, cool. So I did that. And the next day, the manager interviewed me, says, we've got a problem, the band are crap, and blah, 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 blah. Let's scrap it all, and I want you to put another band together. I was like, what? I just come in on holiday. I'm not going to find my mate who I was coming for on holiday. He's like, no, we'll keep him, we'll keep your mate, but we'll get everyone new. Would you be up for it? And I was like, yeah, of course, let's do it. So I put a new band together, a new campaign, and before you knew it, we did 2 years of touring, and that was my first global experience of touring. We did South by Southwest and all these kind of like old American festivals. We did our own tour in America in theatres, and then Katy Perry asked us to come and support us on their California Dreams tour. From there, I learned the art and the craft of arena design touring. I was more interested not just in the music, but I was interested in everything that came with this. From the audience perspective, to how it makes you feel, from a psychological point of view, to the way the Americans did a show, to the pyrotechnics, to the screen design, to the lighting plots. Like, to me, that was so much more fascinating than just like, this is a G major chord, this is a C major 7, this is C sus, like the whole package. And I always say this now, to me, Christmas Eve is always better than Christmas Day, and that's my take on it, is the preparation of the show and the lead up to the show and the build of the show is so much more like invigorating for me than it is to just get up there and play. I have a lot of anxiety when it comes to playing. I get really nervous, even though I play some of the biggest shows in the world, I still get very nervous, but putting it together really made me feel in control. So I was really enjoyed that process. So I learned from the Americans, and I learned from Katy Perry how they do a pop show, and they execute it better than any Brit could ever do. I learned how the guitar techs, the guitarists and bass players in the room, had no pedals on stage, no amps on stage. I was like, what is this world where you're not allowed any amps on stage? And I went down here and I went on stage like this. And I saw a bloke pressing pedals, like this, like it was a whack-a-mole. You know, that game you see where you have to whack the moles down. Pressing the pedals. I was like, wow. I was like, he's like, I'm Vinny, man, I'm doing the pedals. I was like, there's someone to do the pedals? I looked over here, somebody was changing keyboard patches on the fly. Looked over here, someone was doing guitar rig stuff. Like, I was like, wow, it's like there's no amps on the stage? They're like, no, it's all clean. So I learned how they did it. I learned how the way Katy executed her show, from the way she cried at the right points, and where she was like bringing the crowd in and pulling them back, and like the art of real stage control. And it doesn't matter if you're playing for the Arctic Monkeys, you're playing for Katy Perry, or you're working with any kind of like indie, rock, pop. Everything that you do is executed. The most unrehearsed bands are always rehearsed. They just make it look so good that they're under-rehearsed. They make it look cool that they haven't cared, but they probably really have worked all these things out. That's what makes the difference between a good band and a great band. Okay? So coming off that, I then get a call. I know it's a lot about me, sorry. I get a call. That was 2 years. The job finished. They said, you know what, we don't want guys anymore, we want an all-girl band. I was like, okay, we're done. So there's no way I could get out of that. Maybe I'll put a dress on or something. Maybe I can stay in this game. So we got axed from that job, and I didn't really know what to do with myself again. I had this amazing 2-year experience where I learned so much about indie music and left field pop and programming keyboards and musically directing this show. And they said, there's something going down. Would you like to interview for it? And I was like, okay, well, what was this thing? And I was doing other people at the time. I had my fingers in Charlie XCX at the time. I was programming a tour, and I was doing other bits for like X Factor, all these other things I was doing. And there's we think something big might be going down. So, what's this? So we're like, well, at the moment they're just a boy band on like an X Factor TV show. Would you be interested in coming along for the interview? And I was 27. Right? I was 27 at the time. And there was 3 of us in the running for this job as musical directors, okay? So this is not an audition where you turn up and you play your instrument. You sit down with the board of management and you have to say, why do you think you can handle this job? And why do you think you can take this on? And why do you think you can lead this team? And I got all my shirt on, got all groomed up, and I had a girlfriend who was a beautician at the time. So she did my eyebrows and made me look good. Turned to this into, I was like ready, I was on punch. And they said, have you heard anything about the band? And I said, yeah, the 4 guys, I've watched the video at 5. Oh, okay. I was like, I've messed this completely up. So there's one bit of advice I give to you now, no matter how good, always do your research. But I was very nervous again at the time. And we talked through it. It was myself, Adele's MD, and there was somebody else in the running. And I was at the right age. Adele's MD was too old. Tim Van Belt was a very, very great guy, an amazing musician, and took Adele to astronomic success in her live show. But he was too old. He was an older guy, he was in his 40s. Now, at the time I was 27 years old, I was full of beans, I was full of give. And I was still willing to go on tour at the time. I didn't have a family, I had part of a girlfriend, and I didn't really have children and like that. So I could just like up and go. I didn't have a problem with going, because I was never done yet, because I was like, I need to get to that. I need to get to that stadium, I need to get to that big one, I need to get to that big one up there. And in a week, I got a job, and I was mowing the lawn, and they rang me and said, yeah, put the band together. So I put the band together, auditioned 75 people over 2 days. I pulled all my guys in for originally, I pulled all my own guys, but they were all like bearded, and they were all my age, and they were like, no, No, you've got to go back to the drawing board, John. Find me young musicians. And when I'm young, I mean 20s, early 20s. So I had to find all these young players I'd never taught before that were like willing to go on this journey. And yeah, that was it really. In 3-5 years, you know, it was an extraordinary journey. And before I know it, I was on G7 private jets, and I was in bulletproof cars, and I was being given everything from Converse deals to instrumental. Any instrument you wanted, you could have. It was a rock and roll experience, regardless if you like the music or not. And again, I'm never precious about music because I just play everyone else's music. Although I like my own styles and I've got my own insights to what I like as a musician, I was never worried about what I play for. I play for System of a Down, put it in front of me. Like, I just literally wanted to get out there and play on these big stages. And when I got to execute that pop show and put the set together and design it and work out what I was going to be doing, where the fireworks, me and the team looking at where the fireworks were going to go, and all that, it was like, they were like monumental highs. And some of those were bigger than any kind of experience, like drug experience or anything you could take or that made you feel crazy. It was like when you walk out to 80,000 people and the fireworks are going off, you know, you're in Bogota, Colombia, and you're on your own in a stadium doing a dress rehearsal the night before a show, and there's nobody in this stadium. 80,000 people will be here tomorrow, but there's nobody in here right now, and you're looking at the screens and the music, and you're kind of like working it with the band and working with the designer. It was one of the best things that could ever happen to me. Yeah. So that was my journey up till this point, 2015. So when it ended in 2015, I took a year off, and as I spoke to Nick earlier on, I in brief, I had quite a bit of a meltdown because I was at such a high level of like performance. I was such a high level of like everything you could have. We walked into every town, every place, and everybody. I had points where people were running after me. I didn't even know them. I'd walk into like these random little towns in America, and people were like, "Morning, John. Hi, John. Can't wait to see you tonight." And I'd be like, "What is happening to me?" And I never wanted to be famous. Like, because I was always a player behind the scenes a bit, and I was never an artist at the front. But by proxy, we got famous because we had no choice, because with Instagram and Twitter and all those things that were happening at the time, it was like you got famous. You know, it was really weird. So the privacy kind of went, and when I finished, I just sort of was back. It was all very quiet all of a sudden. And I had I took a year. I went through quite a difficult period of my life because I'd achieved everything I wanted to achieve. I didn't really know where to go next, and also I was just like, I spent 5 years with this kind of like weird family where we were rolling into towns like the gods that we were, and it was no more. But it was an amazing, amazing experience. So now I do a lot of other stuff. I've just been out in Nashville this year, putting a new country boy band together. That's going to hit the market next year. Keep an eye out for them, please. I can't give you any more information than that, but you'll find, hopefully they'll be over here. I've been putting a cruise ship together, a brand new cruise ship in Miami, a big show called Celebrity Edge, it's a $1 billion cruise ship. And I do more of these, and I do a lot of talking, yeah, that's my new performance art. But I also do stuff like Group I did this year, and X Factor arranging, and all bits and pieces, so yeah, that's kind of me. That's a long-winded way of saying it, but I hope that kind of gives you a background to this. Yeah. Everyone good? Great. What time are we on it so far? Can you just give me a timer, please?
10 past 2.
10 past 2, I've got ages. Right, so could you say who are you? We discussed a bit about who are you, but Phoebe, can you just give us the next slide, please? The most important thing to have a long and sustainable career in this industry is understanding all the time what drives you to do what you do. Another one bit of advice I can give you. Who is at this stage where they're not sure if they want to be in music? Okay, that's absolutely fine. Great. Someone said as long as you know you're lost, you're not lost. You know, it's when you don't know where you are anywhere that you are truly lost. But if you don't know and you're unsure, but you kind of see a bit of light, you're kind of alright. What do you think, you're on the fence, what would you like to do if you had music placed in front of you and you could do whatever you wanted? What would you do?
Science probably. I'm doing science degree.
Okay, great. And what in science?
Biomedicine.
Biomedicine. Yeah. Great. And who else? Somebody else put their hand up the word, kind of technically just sitting on the fence. I'm not really sure. I mean, it doesn't matter if you change your mind throughout your whole life, honestly. But what? Yes. What did you?
I do want to be in music, but like before or like after, I do kind of want to like teach.
You want to teach?
Like philosophy.
Oh, brilliant. I love philosophy, yeah. If I could go back to university,
do the same.
do another degree, I'd do
Do the
philosophy.
both. Sorry.
Yeah. That's brilliant. But what do you do if you could do with what you want to do with music?
God knows. I'd love to like make music because I sing, but like I'd love to actually like make.
As like an artist yourself?
Yeah, just an artist, yeah.
Okay, great. And who here is kind of like, yeah, I'm in with my music career? That's it. I mean, it was talking about it over lunch. We said, it's I'm a kind of all or nothing person. If you put a packet of 20 cigarettes, I'm probably going to smoke them all. Or I'm not going to smoke them at all, okay? So we talk about all or nothing, and all or nothing is very much the same in music. You kind of have to be in it to win it, as I say. You have to put the chips in. If you dabble in it slightly, you're probably not going to get the results you're looking for. But if you're all in, they always say you should never have a plan B, which I'm not really sure about, but take it as you want. If they say if you have a plan B, you'll never do plan A. Because if you've only got plan A, Ed Sheeran only ever had a plan A. Ed Sheeran said, well before he was signed, he said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one album, and it's going to be called this. And then I'm going to release a second album, and it's going to be called this. And then I'm going to go to America, I'm going to collaborate with loads of people, and I'm going to make a multi-million selling dollar record out there. And I'm going to tour on my own, and I'm going to write another album called this. And he did them all. And this is before he even made it. So this is a man with a vision and one plan A and no plan B, okay? Degrees give you that plan B, and I'm a plan B man, okay? There's plan A people, plan B people, and there's plan A only people. And I'm not saying either one is right, works for Ed very, very well. But plan B is great, degree programs are great because they offer you that kind of 3-year understanding that actually you could take that degree and show, I've applied myself for 3 years and I can take that anywhere I kind of want to go.